I think I have a break into action. I've got 3 groups out there. It's kind of in that slack time between beach time and sunset when people are going to dinner. So I'm charging right along in the construction of the Goldberg Viking. It is prepped and ready for covering. In fact, if you've never seen something like this before, tissue paper, silk span, with its first coat of dope, there's a little wrinkle right there because I didn't cover it with wet silk span, and you can just stretch it all over compound shapes. But whatever, I kind of like the imperfections because it shows that it was done by hand. All the detail work is done. I have 2 coats of dope on the frame of the wing and the fuselage and the empennage, the tail feathers. Because I go old school, when I'm putting the tissue on, I've got the doped frame, then I rough out the size of the tissue. I'll do the bottom surface of the wings first. Wet it again with fresh dope and stick it right on. It's like contact cement. Love it. Sometimes I shall do the bottom surface and then sand it to trim it. Just sandpaper, and it cuts the tissue paper. Or else I just take a little razor blade and go along there. Whatever. And then the upper surface goes over. For those of you who are technical, this is an under cambered wing. It actually goes like this, so I have to glue it to the ribs. Oh, look it. There they are. They heard me. A line of turkeys. Last night it was funny because there were turkeys here. I almost walked into a deer. She showed up to say hi. Skunk and raccoons in the yard. And these 2 people. By the way, one of them was a young lad who's going to stop in the next month or so. I'm going to get him started on building these things. It's very good. Gussets are all rounded. These once triangular shapes, which are rounded, are called gussets. And that's about it. I'm not going to tie you up too long. The stats. So far it is 5.5 ounces, 5.5 ounces, this whole thing. What is that, 157 grams or something? Maybe I'm wrong. Understand the metric system, don't use it a lot. 157 grams. So with this big wing area, 330 square inches here, plus this wing, 2 wings, it's not just a tail, not just a stabilizer, it's a lifting surface, it's a wing. And at that light weight, which is basically in the construction limits of a rubber band powered model. There was some question. Horizon Hobby helped me out, their tech guy. What size motor to put on this thing? And for those of you who want to build a Goldberg Viking, a Park Zone 370. The 400 would probably be too heavy for it. The Park Zone 370, 20 amp speed control, ESC, that's electronic speed control. Micro servo, which will probably weigh about 7 grams, very light. And so this is like an enigma wrapped in a Tootsie Roll as far as what size motor and electronics and everything that should go on this. This is my drying station, and it's fun because I've been conversing with model builders. There are model builders out there, and they show up and they see that I'm doing nature stuff, the nature of flight, along with checking in cars. And one fellow even took a picture of the box because he wanted to do this because he's in the RC and really thought that this is a beautiful model. I agree. As far as decorating, I have some red tissue left over from the Pete and Pull air camper. I might do something. I might just leave it white. This has been done. This has been done. You can see the balsa through it. This will be completely covered with silk span, but it'll look pretty balsa-like. And then the wing. And I just kind of like that white. I'll probably just leave it there. As far as where am I going to put the battery, electronic speed control, motor's obvious, it goes on the front, but I might just attach them to the pylon, the ESC and the battery. Battery might fit underneath the wing. I don't know how big they are. Servo, little cutout in here. So you're going to see it. It's not going to be hidden. It's going to be a Frankenstein plane, but a beautiful Frankenstein plane. Coming along nicely. Thank you for watching this series on the Goldberg Viking. It's exciting. I don't want to finish it all in one day. I could sit down here and do a marathon and get the fuselage covered, get the wings. Hinge, boink, the rudder, which is going to be stitched. This is old school. Needle and thread, do a figure 8 thing through here twice. A stitched, a sewn hinge, as it were. Old school. Love it. I might, oh, medium weight silk span is working out nicely. I'm glad I didn't get the heavy. Don't need it. If there's something sharp enough to poke through the medium, it would poke through the heavy. And I might as well save a few grams here and there in the weight. Adieu, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, ciao. Nice playing.